Girl, please look at my boobs. It feels like this
Bless. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 2bsinapod. Millie here. And AC.
Hi. Sorry, I'm so tired now. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God. Hi.
So we were here talking, actually, just having some private conversation. And we're like, well, let's just talk about it. We were talking about relationships and the things that we say to our men and that translation of what we're not trying to say, but we're saying it, and
what it really means.
What it really means.
We were just talking. She was talking about a text conversation she was having with her boyfriend, and I'm like, it's kind of funny because men think completely different from women. There's a reason why there's that book, Men are from Mars, Women are from Venus. Yeah.
Oh my God, that book is old as hell.
I have that book, and
Did you read it?
I read it. I gave it to Oni when we first started dating, and he was like, yeah, I'll read it. I think it's somewhere still at his mom's house. He's never actually read it. We're just wired differently. So she was telling me her story, and then I'm like, oh my God, the other day, I was telling her my story. So I figured we'd talk about it because I'm sure this is a lot that you guys can relate to. Basically, this episode is when a woman says XYZ, what it really means is this.
Yeah, my conversation was having that, I guess, I know I say it, but I didn't know he caught on to it. My boyfriend's overseas right now, so we communicate a lot via messaging. So I'll say something, but I'll finish the sentence with I'm just saying. And then it's funny because he answered back, he's like, you just saying, huh? You saying a whole bunch of nothing. Yeah, I'm just saying. So he thinks it's funny, which, I think that I'm just saying has a lot more weight. It's a lot more, but, I'm just saying, like, you get the drift.
Mm-hmm. Just like with a little Kermit meme, but it's none of my business.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
And sorry, this one is fighting. She's trying to go rogue on her nap again, but she's chilling. But that's what in the background is YouTube. And they're cutting the grass outside too. Lord have mercy.
Not a good day to find.
No. My thing is my face. And even on the if we're on the phone or texting, especially if I text Ja, like YA, like Ja, like as a response, he knows something's up.
That means enough.
Yeah, because he'll say something. I'm like Ja, like whatever. Like I don't even.
Man, I'm gonna use that
like,
one.
Ja, yeah.
Ja.
Because his, like when or like somebody puts like K, just letter K, you're like, oh, they're tight. They're like
I hate that. Oh my God, I hate that K.
So I put Ja, which means like, I'm not very happy with you at the moment.
But you're done.
So, this conversation's over. I don't want to talk about it anymore. He knows that something's up. But I also, when he does it in person, it's what's wrong? Because my face, if I'm in a bad mood, you can feel the energy off of me. And if my face is already not like, I'm just not pleased at the moment. He'll ask, hey, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. He's learned now, almost 7 years we've been together, and he says,
oh my God.
I know it's not nothing, it's something. What did I do? What did I forget to do? What did I say? What is it that I didn't say? Oh he's learned. Like,
but nothing is something.
Nothing is something.
Nothing is something.
When a chick says, it's nothing, it's something. So you better start cataloging through your mind the day's events, the week's events.
See, usually when I say nothing, it's because it's something, but I'm still processing on how to say it. Because if I say how I think it, it's going to come out left. It's going to come out left field. So that's what it usually, for me, it's like nothing. Give me a minute. It means basically give me a minute. Because there's something, but I'm not just ready to say it yet. In a good way. Like, it's because I don't like to argue. I told you that. Not anymore. And I don't like to argue because I believe in picking and choosing. To certain people. Some other people, better. Yeah. Picking and choosing my fights and when to do it and when to bring it up and when it's a good time. And we were just talking about that. When it's a good time to bring something up.
Yeah.
It's not always the right time.
Not always, but if you have the opportunity to pick a good time, it's because you don't want to have an argument, because then it gets, you lose track of what the conversation is really about. Yeah. And he's learned too, to just kind of like, when I say give me a minute, it really is give me a minute. Like, I need to really, because I don't want to have a yelling match where we're going back and forth and calling each other names and always I'm always like, he's like, I want to leave. I'm like, bye.
There's the door.
It's just, it's unnecessary. Especially, you know, we have little kids in the house and stuff. We don't want to do that in front of them. Or even just in public or just anywhere. Like,
I hate those couples that
yes!
argue out. Oh my God.
Don't do it. It's horrible.
Because I feel uncomfortable. You're making me uncomfortable. Stop it. Go inside a car.
I don't know. Sometimes I kind of want to listen. I'm like, ooh.
But then I want to know the whole story, the whole back, so I know which side I'm going to be on.
Ooh, you know what the best ones are, though? When they're on their phone and then you can tell they're arguing with somebody on the phone. I'm like, ooh.
They're effed up now.
But it's one thing when somebody's arguing with somebody over the phone, you're kind of like, ooh, you know, it's crazy. But when you see an actual couple fighting in public, that's it's like you're embarrassing yourself, and oh my God, like it almost makes me think of like, oh my God, is that what we look like just at home when we're arguing? Like, crazy.
You know, that's a good point. I was that crazy Hispanic woman with the knife in the hand. Okay.
Oh my God.
Crazy. When they say that those memes. Me.
It was her.
It was me. I made a show, and now in retrospect, if I would have seen me now looking at back then, I would have been like, oh,
girl,
clutching to my pearls. And then you wonder why I'm Switzerland now.
She is Switzerland. She really is.
Because I know my temper. I have a nasty temper, so there's no need for her to come out and play. Because she's nasty. She's nasty.
Yeah.
That's why I don't argue. I think about what I'm going to say. I take a lot of quiet time just because I like to think it through, because when you start screaming and arguing, you lose what you were trying to say. It gets lost in translation, because now the communication, what you were going to argue about, what you were going to discuss becomes an argument, and you start talking about something that has nothing to do with the main reason of why you were upset.
Yep.
And then, and I do believe that once you start kind of losing respect for one another, because you start yelling, then you start cussing each other out, and then you might even bring, well, your mother's this, and then lines are crossed.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. Sometimes when you cross those lines, you can't take it back. And even if you make up and you say, I'm sorry, I love you, I said it because I was pissed.
You'll always think about it.
You're always going to think about it. You're always going, is this what you really feel? Is that how you really, really feel? So I've learned that over the years. Trust me, in my 20s, that was not Millie. That was, trust me. He could tell you that too. That was not me. I feel like this right now. Let me tell you about it, or let me think about it. Let me process it first before just going with that first instinct. Because my first instinct is over to say something sarcastic.
It's always my best. I like it.
Yeah. So it's funny because sometimes I'm pissed and then I text her. I'm like, should I do it? She's like, ooh, yes. But no, that's being petty.
Because it's satisfying for some reason, just to kind of that little steam, just to kind of.
It is.
But it's not worth it. It's satisfying, but not worth it.
Not worth it.
As you get older, you start to really understand. Like, it's not like we were talking about energy this morning. Like, some things are just not worth. So if someone makes you really upset, they're not making you upset. You're allowing your energy to be affected by whatever they're saying or whatever.
And you're giving them power. You're giving somebody else power over your emotions. And they're probably okay. They're probably fine. And here you are, like, stressing, having anxiety, going through all of it, and they're fine. Yeah. It's giving somebody else power over you.
Oh, now that you're saying that, giving somebody else power, and like, you know, you're frustrated, you're so pissed off, and they're like, I don't know what your problem is. Do you watch the Trevor Noah special? He has a special on Netflix called Patricia's Son, and he talks about how, like, defensive and, you know, basically giving the other person energy. And he's like, you ever been in an argument? And me and Oni were watching. It was so funny because I was dying laughing. I go, oh my God, in relationships. So you ever been in an argument with somebody, and the best way to kind of, I forgot how it went, but basically when you're arguing with someone or someone's kind of like really pissed off at you, they're expecting for you, or you're expecting for them to have the same energy, like to be upset as well. And they hit you with something completely different. Like, you're so this, blah, 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 you know, and they're so, like, so upset. And then it's like the other person goes, you know what? You're right. I'm so sorry. And then the other person's like, what? I'm still upset, and I wasn't expecting an answer, so give me a minute. I'll be right back. It is so funny because it's true. It's so worked up in our own minds that we've already decided this is how the conversation's gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm pissed, then we're just gonna go back and forth, and you kind of like amp yourself up, and when the other person's kind of like, all right, I'm sorry, you're right, yeah, okay, let's talk about this. It's a completely different, it's like you've already made up your mind that you're gonna be pissed, and it's hard to like get out.
Yeah, retract is like, be like, no, I'm still pissed. I want you to argue with me.
I've learned with him, and he's learned too, because it really is, it takes a lot of work to try to understand each other. And then as I'm kind of fixing myself, he's learning to adjust to that as well. So he knows if I tell him, hey, I need a minute. I love my boyfriend because he really is, he's a minute fixers. So if I say I need a minute, well, what do you need a minute with? Well, what can I do? I need a fucking minute. Sit over there. But he's always like, oh, well, do you need a hug? Do you need this? What can I do for you? And I know that a lot of women like the man that does all of that. I'm not one of those women. So when I say I need a minute, please give me a fucking minute. And then I can kind of, but he's learned. So now he's like, okay, so he'll go do whatever. But I can tell it bothers him now.
Because he wants to fix it.
Yeah. And I'm just like, no, it's not for you to fix. I just need you to listen. But he's learning. He's learning. The same thing with him, though. It's very rare that he gets in a bad mood or that he's pissed off. It's very rare. He's an Aquarius. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but they just don't get upset very often for some reason. I don't know why. But when they're pissed, it's like, or for me, it's on a daily basis. I look for things to be upset about. Is that a horrible thing? I'm waiting for somebody to do something just so I can be just so I can bitch about it. I love to bitch about shit.
That's how you live your life. Oh, I wish somebody would.
I live to bitch about things every day.
So funny. Maybe the only man that hears me bitching out is my son. But he ignores me. He's like, she's
good practice for when he gets
a woman. He's probably just going, oh, her again. She's at it again. Yeah, I've set them good, my kids, for crazy, especially my son for a crazy Hispanic woman, because he gets it, because, like, I know this is silly. So like many people, I put my Christmas tree at a certain angle, so when you have the blinds open, people outside could see it.
Oh, that's a good, yeah.
So I told him his job, because by the time I get off of work and get home, it's already dark outside. At this time every night, I want you to turn on the Christmas tree, plug it in, and I want you to open the blinds a certain way. Mm-hmm. Dude. 2 things. Yesterday I come home. Are you effing kidding me?
He didn't do it.
And I'm going off in Spanish. ¿Tú no podías abrir eso? He's probably going, what the hell? Who cares? He's probably going, who cares? We live on the 3rd floor.
I get. So when a woman tells you certain things, and it's just learn to just.
It's horrible though, because we're basically we're telling them you have to pay attention to even the things that we don't say or how we say it.
We want them to be mind readers,
basically. And that's a horrible position to put somebody else.
It's so horrible. And if you're younger watching this, like
please
super young,
don't.
And you're probably not going to understand it at this point, but just don't do it. It's just not.
Communicate.
Yeah.
I tell my boyfriend this stupid stuff, and he's probably going. He's not going. He tells me, like, really. But you know what? I'd rather you know and I let it out than me hold it in, and then 3 weeks later, I'm pissed off about a sock on the floor and I'm going off about something else. You got sidetracked there. Oh, yeah. You don't want to know what that is.
So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Nothing. It's nothing. Just communicate.
Communicate, guys.
Just
communication is key. What anything is, communicate clearly, effectively, which means not being upset. If you need to take a moment, take that moment, because imagine if it was the other way around. Like, I read something today. I get it now. It's about boiling water. When the water's boiling, you cannot see through it. You can only see through it when the water is not boiling, when it's calm. That should be your metaphor.
Yeah.
When you're boiling, upset, don't go in. Wait till you're calm so you can speak clearly, because you can see through the water. Boom. Don't worry about it. Nothing. Never mind. I'm good. You could do it. It's okay.
It's never okay.
It's never okay. It's a lie.
Never okay.
It's never okay. Thank you for watching. Like always, You know, like always, we're trying to try. What the hell?
Trying to be more consistent with their uploads. Strange.
So next episode, we'll try to be more consistent.
Yes.
Like always, if you have comments, suggestions, or whatever, comment down below. Also, our Instagrams are down there if you want to communicate with us here. And our Instagram, 2bsinapod. 2bsinapod. Or on our each individual Instagram is also going to be listed down there. Like always, try to be good because, you know, we're not, or at least we're trying to be more better women.
Yes.
More positive.
Yes.
Positive women.
That's for sure.
All right, guys.
Yes.
You have a great week. Take care.
See
Bye-bye.
ya.